Hey everyone. So I'm going to talk through a few different ways that you might be able to improve the or reduce, for that matter, reduce the overall inspection time of your CMM programs, um, at least using PC-DMIS, some of the built-in features to PC-DMIS. Within here, there would be a few different things that I'd point out. There's a lot of different ways to keep yourself working efficiently, but you would also have a handful of options here that I'll show you that might be of use. The first one that a lot of people kind of forget about, you learn about it in the first level class within PC-DMIS, is going to be your measurement strategies. So that's this button here. If you think about whenever you're coming in and grabbing, maybe you're grabbing a circle, a lot of cylinders, or you're grabbing planes or whatnot, you can define those features with a varying amounts of points. If you're doing, let's say, a touch trigger probe, like your classic hexagon touch trigger probe, or maybe you're using a Renishaw TP20. Um, and in here, you can actually create a strategy that you can save off as your default strategy or use it in specific circumstances where maybe you have a customer that demands that you grab a circle with, let's say here, you could have a customer that might demand that you grab a circle with, uh, in this case, 10 points. Or you might be just totally fine with grabbing smaller circles with 4 points or 6 points, something of that nature. You could change it in here, save it off as a strategy, and have a different strategy for different customers, or for your own internal sake, you could make sure that you're reducing the overall inspection time by reducing the number of points that are unnecessary to grab. Also, for your own sake, in terms of programming, if you have a whole bunch of circles like you see here on the left side of my screen, rather than coming in and editing each one, if you pre-save to the right amount, you could just go back, and if you needed to hit additional points on a different circle, you could go back and change that individual circle. So that's a nice feature. Another thing that you might want to try is utilizing scan probing versus your traditional touch trigger probe. So here on this screen, we have a hexagon X1H scan probe. So you can see here I'm capturing profile using about 30 points on this profile. If I were to instead do some sweeping, not beeping, if I were to instead come in and sweep this profile, I'll be able to capture uh, that profile much faster than if I were to come in and individually touch off on that profile on a bunch of different points. So if you have a X1H or a scan probe available to you, I would be using that if you have that at your disposal. Last and certainly not least, we also have the option for, I'll just hide these. Let me show the path lines for this program. We also have the option for path optimization with built into PC-DMIS. It's a button right here in the top left that you can see. So path optimization, if you were to be using this, it's going to find the ways in order to, so let's say I want to start all the way at the top. It's going to find all of the features um, that you're programming to and find the shortest route to move the probe head. It's going to reduce the number of angle changes that you're doing if you're doing some unnecessarily. If you're traveling from one side of the part to the other and then back, you might capture all the features on one side and slowly work your way over to the other versus coming back and forth and back and forth. These are small things that do add up, especially over large parts. And you'll find that it will save you some time. So I actually pre-ran this 79% shorter. What it means is it's 79% of the length, and now it's shorter. So it's really about a 21% decrease here for this part program. You might find on smaller parts this may get you 5 or maybe 10%. On larger parts, somewhere between 10 and 25%. But that can really add up, especially if you're doing larger volumes of production. So these would be a few of my key strategies that I would take away as different methods that you could implement in order to reduce some of your programming cycle times, as well as become a little bit more efficient in your programming practices. Um, I'd be curious to know, what are you guys doing? Comment down in the comments if you have any ideas for other ways to reduce your cycle time programs, as well as just make your inspection process faster. I do have a checklist as well, where if you're at least in the San Diego area, I'm happy to swing by and run through the checklist with you and see if there's other ways that we can help reduce your overall inspection time.